This is the poem Storm on the Island by Seamus Heaney. We can see right from the first line that there's a voice, there's a speaker, and the title should tell you there's a storm, obviously, and we are prepared. There's a definitive strength to that first line. And the colon says, well, how did they prepare for this storm? We built our houses squat, which is low down, presumably so they wouldn't fall over. They sink walls in rock and roof them with good slate. Roof here is a verb. They build their houses strong. And low down, so they don't fall over. The wizened earth has never troubled us with hay, so, as you see, there are no stacks or stooks that can be lost. Here, this is sarcasm or irony, because the earth has never troubled us with hay or stooks that can be lost, meaning the earth has never actually given them any growth, any vegetation. So there's no vegetation, nothing to be blown over. Nor do we have any trees which might prove company when it blows full blast. So there's no vegetation. There are no trees. What might trees offer them? Company when it blows full blast. So when the storm comes at full throttle, hitting, beating, hurting, trees can offer some company. They can be like friends almost. Colon. Again, the colon is going to explain what the speaker means. You know what I mean. Listen to the voice here. Think of the speaker is conversational. He's explaining. He's being generous. Even though some of his language, it may seem strange to us, he is actually explaining himself. You know what I mean. Leaves and branches can raise a tragic chorus in a gale, so that you can listen to the thing you fear, forgetting that it pummels your house too. So when the wind is blowing really hard and strong, it can provide a tragic chorus. The songs of sadness, or he could be referring to the Greek chorus, which could be a group commenting on how sad this storm is to us. Gale is, again, a really strong, windy storm. So that you can listen to the thing you fear, forgetting that it pummels your house too. So when the winds blow through the tree, you can listen to that song, the sad words of the trees, forgetting actually that your house is getting struck too. Pummel is to get relentlessly beaten continually. So you get this sense of this storm just absolutely pounding your house. But the way that you can distract yourself maybe with trees, there's no distraction here, is the emphasis. There's no distraction. There's no trees, there's no vegetation. It's going to be absolutely a storm that just smashes everything. So, because there's no natural shelter, there's nowhere to hide, to be safe, nowhere to be safe or hidden. The speaker then says, you might think that the sea is company. Again, we get that idea. The trees are company. Maybe the sea you think is company, exploding comfortably down on the cliffs. Again, if you've ever been by the seaside or seen a movie where it can be quite calming to see and hear the sea smash against the cliffs, and that might offer some comfort and company. But he says again, no, colon. When the storm begins, the flung spray, that water is flung, it's thrown at us, hits the very windows, hits our windows, spits like a tame cat turned savage. There's that simile of a peaceful, beautiful, comforting animal, like a tame cat, a domestic animal, someone who could love you, sit in your lap, turned savage, gone back into a wild state. And what's it do? But it spits. It's attacking like a cat become wild. We just sit tight while wind dives and strafes invisibly. So the wind is behaving like a fighter plane might, diving, strafing, but we can't see it. It's completely invisible. The space is a salvo. It's weaponry being shot at us. The language here is of war. Salvo, dives, strafes, bombarded. That's what the storm's doing. It's actually going to war with us. We are bombarded by the empty air. We're getting bombed. We're getting overwhelmed, actually, by emptiness. And this is how the poem ends, with this thought. Strange. It is a huge nothing that we fear. The poem shows how much the people on this island are afraid, worried, and terrified of the storm. But he also notices that air is actually nothing. And it's not just a nothing, it's a huge nothing. And this is this ending of this poem where it's nature that's bombarding these people, their homes, and they're frightened. But he thinks for a second, it's just air. It's not as if it's actually bombs or jets or even animals gone wild. It may be nothing, but this nothing seems like it has done a great deal of damage and can cause a lot of fear. So in the power and conflict poems, it isn't always a physical enemy that causes the conflict. It can sometimes be nature itself.